It'll probably be like the fanciest place I've ever stayed. Which is
he's Mexican.
Which is a different situation than what happened when I was in Florida.
Oh yeah?
Oh, wow.
So this has nothing to do with Full Sail. It's not their fault. It's someone else's fault at this company whose name I won't say. He's not there. I'm
not
just
here,
shouting
yeah.
and hoping that he knows.
Say it.
No, I'm not going to talk about. Oh, I was so close to doing it. No.
Nearly got you there.
So
Who are you talking about, sorry?
we're going to stay. So like Adam Kovic and like Greg Miller, they were all staying at this like really cool hotel. And the person that arranged our travel was like, you know what? This place is just a little bit farther away and a little bit cheaper.
A little bit cheaper or a lot cheaper?
Probably a lot cheaper.
Okay.
I was like, and you know what? It seems really cool. It's like this old historic
I
hotel.
thought that person had stayed there and was like, you guys gotta check it out.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Interesting.
So we went to this place, and to that person's credit, if you were to look online at this place, it would look. I don't know if I should say the name of it. I'll leave that to you if you think I should say it or not.
Why don't you type it there and I'll look it up?
Absolutely. It looked kind of cool. Again, it's in like a very historic part of Florida, and it was an old ass building. It was a flop house, where essentially people working on the railroad would just go, and once they were done working on the railroad, they would walk into these rooms and just flop down in their cot and just go to sleep. So there's a lot of history there, and we were joking that it was haunted and shit, which I love. I believe that should be it.
Thank you.
So,
It sounds fancy.
oh wait, that can't be it. That was way too much beautiful water. If it looks like an old haunted house, that's the place. So we got there at 1 a.m, and we all got out of our cars. We're really tired. Next to this place was a child's toy store, and in the front of it, in their front window, was an adult-sized rabbit suit just standing there. So that was our greeting. Now, Chris Kokinas had gotten there before myself, Drew, Nadia, and Jordan. And he had already met the staff there and had gone up to his room.
Was it like that?
Yep. That's it. So we get out of the car again, 1 a.m, and we hear, "Hey, you guys must be Jordan, Nadia, Drew, and Miles." And we look over, and there's this.
It's the rabbit.
Chipper. No. Oh fuck. And I'd be like, "Take me home. Sorry, Full Sail. Thanks, but no thanks." No. So there's this chipper dude standing out there, and he's like, "Yeah, I met your friend Chris. He came in a few hours earlier. I've been waiting for you guys to get in. How was the trip?" And we're like, "Good." Yeah. He's like, "Well, come on in." We go in, and it kind of looks like the lobby looks like what I imagine just the house from Clue, the board game, would look like if it was all just smushed into one room. That's it.
Looks like Meow Wolf.
It does.
So we go in, and smooth jazz is playing, and it becomes immediately apparent that this is the only guy on staff that's here at this hour, and he's just been devoid of any human contact. And I'm like, "Hi, yeah." He's asked us all these questions. "I hear you work for a production company. What's that like?" That's cool. Very nice dude. But just a lot, because we're really tired. And the guy gives us our keys, and they're actual old. This was actually I thought was cool. It's like an old ass brass key. We go up the staircase, and then there's just essentially 2 long ass hallways, and we're all tired. We're like, "Okay, I'll see you in the morning. Yeah, good night." I go into my room, and I take an immediate survey of what's going on here. There's a bed with this old wooden bed frame that probably looks like it's from, I don't know, the 12th century. And then there's a computer monitor on a dresser drawer that I guess was the TV. There was an old wicker chair. Yeah, it was it kind of just looked like your basics. Yeah. And then there was wooden doors out to one long extended balcony that all the rooms shared. And there was tiny porcelain bathroom. And there was your standard things. There was a Bible, there was the TV remote, and then there was earplugs, which I thought was really weird. But I was like, whatever, I'm really fucking tired. And as I'm unpacking my stuff, we're all talking in our group Slack thread. And we're all joking about "Oh, watch out for ghosts. Ooh, it's kind of spooky. You can hear things through the walls," which you could. And at one point, Nadia was like, "Oh, I found an ant in my bed. Be careful. It might get you." And I was like, "Haha, Nadia, you're hilarious." And then I was getting ready to get in my bed, and I see this little wormy thing. And I was like, "Oh, gross." Flick that thing away. And I see another one, and this one has wings. I'm like, "Wow, what is this interesting creature?" "Oh, fuck you too." Flick that away. And then I pulled back the sheets, and there was a bunch of these motherfuckers and a bunch of like shedded wings all over my bed.
Ew.
And I was like,
how much is a bunch?
I'd say about 10.
Were they maggots?
We're gonna get there. So I was like, so I text everybody. I'm like, hey, I have like worm creatures in my bed, and everyone's like, ha ha ha. Wait, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs and figure this out. So I go down the stairs. I'm scared by like a spooky painting. And the guy's like, hey, what's going on? Did you need some water? Because they had this whole thing, like when you go in, you get the Wi-Fi password. It's like, also, you can come down for water at any time.
Ooh.
I was like,
That's kinda
oh,
good
wow.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. And I was like, no, actually, good on the H2O sitch. There's some bugs in my bed. They're not bed bugs,
They're
but
just
they
like,
are bugs in the bed. And he was like, oh, that doesn't sound good, does it? And I was like, no. Do you have another room? He's like, oh, yeah, of course. We have one other room across the hall. Let me come up and take a
That one's
look.
haunted.
And I'm like, cool, great. So he comes up and he picks one up and he goes, oh, these are termites. Well, that shouldn't be there. I'm like, yeah. He goes, no, we paid a lot of money last week to get rid of these things. I'm so sorry.
There's a lot of wood in this hotel.
It's like all
like
wood,
all
dude.
wood,
It is
yeah.
100% wood. And so I'm like, I'm not too angry. It's like he didn't put the bugs there, but I'm also like, fuck this. Please give me another room. So we go across the hall. We open up the room. We check this room. This room seems chill. She's like, I'm so sorry about that. I'm like, it's fine. At this point, it's going on 2 a.m. and I have to be at a work thing in the morning. Thank you very much. Have a good night. So I move all my stuff out of the old room. We go into the new room. I'm unpacking everything. I'm brushing the teeth, all that stuff. And the whole time now, I keep thinking like I feel things on me. I get that way about like swarmy bugs.
I feel like I
just
have
can't
something
do
on me right now.
Yeah, no, I hate it. But I'm like, finally, it's fine. I'm just gonna Sleepy Town Junction. Let's go. Turn out the lights. I get in the bed, and then I feel something in my face, and I slap it away. I turn the light. One of these fucking termites is crawling again, and I have video of this too. There's like 2 or 3 crawling on the pillow, and I don't know what to do because there's no other rooms at this point. I take off all the sheets. I kill all the bugs I can. I'm like shaking the headboard, trying to figure out where these things are coming from. I look under the bed. I don't know what's up. And I'm so miserable. I just tell myself, just pretend you're camping. People have slept in worse conditions than this. You'll be fine. Just go the fuck to sleep. It's like 2:30. I finally just deal with it. I close my eyes. I lay my head down. And then the loudest fucking train horn in the goddamn world blares
God.
outside my window. Turns out, historic train goes right by.
The railroad
right by
workers.
the railroad workers that use the place as the flop house. And suddenly I'm like, earplugs. There's earplugs in every single room. And the guy had apparently told Drew, oh, yeah, there's a midnight train that comes through. Sorry about
Is it
that.
to Georgia?
And Drew's like, yeah. Drew was like, oh, well, it's 1:30, so that'll be fine. But it wasn't fine because that train came by at 2:30 and at 4:30 and at 6:30 and at 8:30. And that next morning, we all got out and like crawled from our holes. And Drew and I had a conversation that we were like, you know, this whole trip, it only lasted like 2 days. It felt like we were there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like there was both he and I separately had a moment, we talked about it at breakfast, where we wondered if we died on the plane and gone to hell. Because there was this weird thing where Drew like couldn't find his pants and then was like positive that they just disappeared and that there was some sort, like he was being punished for something. And he genuinely thought he'd gone to hell and I thought I'd gone to hell. It was a weird trip, you guys.
The moon ghost took his pants.
The moon ghost took Drew's pants and we all went to hell. Don't go to Park Plaza in Florida. There, I said it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. The next day, too, I went down.
I was gonna say, did you change rooms the next day? Was there a different room?
Well, remember, there were no more rooms. I had the last one because apparently everybody wants to come to this place. The next morning, I was downstairs waiting to like escape and go get coffee, and the day shift is now there. And they're like, "Well, I don't understand. Someone's supposed to be in room 32. Why is no one there?" And I catch wind of this. I go, "Hey, I was in room 32 until I got moved because there were termites in the bed." And the guy goes, "Oh, termites. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You know, we just started dealing with that yesterday." And in my mind, I'm like, bull fucking shit. You're a cheery homeboy last night. How did you? You sprayed for these last week, motherfucker. And the guy had the gall to be like, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. Now, we do still have you staying for another 2 nights. And I just looked at him and was like, not if I can help it. And they kind of just gave me the smile of like, yeah, it was worth a shot trying if we should ask though. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
we went
sense.
to Doubletree and then I learned Doubletree gives you cookies.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
the rest of the trip was great. Doubletree fucking rules.